Folks, what if I told you that you could get yourself a alarm system that is app-free, smartphone-free, subscription service-free. It can detect through walls. It can be covered and hidden up. You can set up 6 different sensored areas and it'll send a signal up to 500 meters. That's half a kilometer away in distance. That's what today's video is about. This is the LETWESAF radar motion alarm system. It's pretty dang cool, very, very easy to set up, and that's what we'll be checking out today. If you're interested in this, check out the video description. I'll be leaving a link if you want to purchase this product. Let's get into the video. Please subscribe. So this is how the radar motion alarm system will come to you. Let's open it up, shall we? Inside, you will notice you have a manual. Now, the manual itself is very well written and it's quite easy to follow, not hard at all. It's got all the info that you typically would need. Over here, we have the 2 units themselves. We have the receiver and you have the transmitter, aka the detector. That's what they look like. You will get fixings, you'll get a USB-A to USB-C charging cable, and you'll get a mount. This is your threaded camera mount that you can also attach to here, like so, and then get whatever angle you want, depending where you position this thing. So that is everything that comes with the LETWESAF radar motion detector system right there. So let's take a closer look at the 2 units themselves. This is a pretty neutral type of color that would, I think, be quite concealable, you know, up in natural types of surroundings. This has a 3000 milliampere battery inside. You'll see this is the charge port. A rubber silicone cap opens up the charge port, as you can see. Now with the main receiver unit, this has 6 buttons here corresponding to 6 detectors. Now you can obviously purchase more of these. This kit just comes with the 1 detector. On the receiver, you have the main on-off button. You have the sound part back here. This is where you will hear your detection bell. And then here are various different buttons to either turn on the detector or turn it off. You can set and define the area which is going to be detected, and the button here is to pair this detector or however many other detector units you get. You have a light here which goes off when it has detected something. This is a bit of an indicator light. It communicates, you know, if it's paired or if it hasn't paired. And then you have the battery level lights here. On this unit, it's pretty simple. You just got on and off, and you got the pair button, and you've got 4 battery level indicator lights also. And on the front here, this is your actual radar surface, as you can see. You also have these 2 wings here, so if you choose not to attach it by the threaded mount, you can attach this around a tree or a pole just by using some rope or some straps. To turn these units on, you're simply going to hold that on-off button there and this on-off button for 3 seconds. And that turns them on. If I want to check the battery level on this one, I simply press the on-off button and I can see it's got 4 lights there, and this one's activating as well. I can press it on and it'll show me its battery level right there. Now if I want to pair the detector to the receiver, really simple. I'm going to correspond it to number 1. This will be number 1. It's the only one I've got. I press number 1, then I press probe pair, and then I press pair. That's as simple as it is. This goes blue, and that confirms it is now paired. And now as soon as any movement happens in front of the detector, it goes off. It'll show you which detector is activated, and that's the activation light. Now if I don't want this to be activated anymore, I turn the probe to off. I press 1 and then turn it off. And that's effectively turned off this radar. To turn it back on, I press number 1 and turn the probe on, and that will be activated again, like so. I can make it silent by simply double pressing the on-off button if I don't want to be disturbed by any alarm activations, but you can still see that the radar is still working even though it's been silenced. I can turn it back on by pressing the on-off button twice, and now the radar will be operational again in that you can hear the activation. Now the batteries in these units, under normal use, you can probably expect about 8 days use with the receiver unit. And with the transmitter or the detector, with this thing activating under regular use, you can probably expect it to last about 2.5 days. So that's something to be aware of. That's in the manufacturer's manual. So about every 8 days, you might need to charge this. Every 2.5 days, you'll need to take this down and recharge that. So we're going to plant the receiver just over here. I'm going to be fixing the radar or the detector 100 meters right at the end of my driveway. So we're just going to mimic a person walking up the driveway 100 meters away and see if the detector picks up that individual and if the receiver gets activated. We're going to go attach these units down at the end of the driveway and get it all screwed up. So here I've fixed the detector onto the tree. Where I want it to ping is this area right here. The moment anyone comes through these gates, a vehicle or the gates get opened up, that's what I want detected by the detector here. So the way we do this is really quite simple. We're going to get our receiver here, and what we do, we press number 1 and we're going to press probe set. What happens then is we need to go to where we want the detection to occur, and that's around this area here. So I'm literally walking around. As you can see, it's over there up on the tree. It is detecting me walking around in the general vicinity of where I want the detection to occur. And then I'm going to be pressing probe set like that. And it picks it up. And it has detected me right here. So what I'm going to do is actually test this now. I'm going to be coming in through these gates. All right, so let's check it out. The moment someone comes in through these gates, it's already activated it upon the detector right there. And it's still pinging me as I go past this point. You see, the radar that this sends out, it sends it out 15 meters, or it can reach across 15 meters. Now that's quite far. That's probably about from here all the way to that corner post of that gate. Now that is pretty impressive. And the fact that you can set the detection area very, very easily, I think that's a big selling point. Now just imagine you set 6 of these up all around different areas. Man, you have like a whole platoon or a sentry guard all around whatever it is that you want protected or you want to have some security for. Now I'm going to show you something that is really cool about this radar system. Check this out. Check out what I'm going to do. So I want you just to think for a moment. We have covered up our detector. No one knows what it is. No one knows that it is a radar detector. Let me show you this. I've just come outside my gate. I'm going to turn on that detector. Press number 1, probe on. It is now on. So let's have a look if the LETWESAF actually detects movement through that hat that I placed over the front of the radar. This is going to be interesting. All right, here we go. So check it out. That is insane. It's picking me up literally as I'm going past. So I want you to think just the possibilities of keeping that really discreet, keeping it covered up. No one knows that a detector is there. Okay, here we are, 100 meters away. Here is the receiver. I'm going to go to the end of the driveway, keeping in mind that the detector down there is covered up by a hat, so it's discreet. So let's put this right here upon the windowsill, and let's go down there. So as you just saw, the radar actually works from 100 meters away just fine. I want you to just to think this through a little bit. What are some other real world applications where you could use this radar system? So first and foremost, on a property like mine where the gate is 100 meters away, yeah, you could set up the radar, and even through a bit of cover, like I had the hat covering the radar, it worked just fine. That's pretty brilliant. Now, what are some other applications? Well, I'm thinking more like if you are camping. You know, when you're at a campsite, especially when it's time to go to bed, the radar system would actually be a brilliant little personal monitoring security system just to set up maybe where cars come into the campsite. Or if you get a couple of detectors, you could set up a couple of them around the place. You've got your own personal security guards alerting you when there is an intruder or when there's some sort of movement. Or it may even be, you know, you're camping in a site and there are some animals that come into that campsite that you want to be alerted over. Remembering that you can actually set up 6 of these things, so you can actually have 6 different stations that you are monitoring at the one time. So that's another application. Maybe you have like a kids room or a baby room or something like that. You can set this up to be alerted when something goes in or out. Maybe it's your kids, you never want to let them out of the room. I don't know. Let's just cover off on a couple of the pros and cons. Pros, first of all, I think it's great that there is no subscription service required for this. You do not need an app. You do not need your mobile phone to be able to use this portable radar system. Secondly, this can actually send out a radar through objects, as in past that hat. Now, I didn't bother testing like if it can go through a concrete wall, which I highly doubt, but at least it can be covered up, discreetly hidden, and it'll send a signal through that. I love the fact that it can transmit up to 500 meters in distance. That's half a kilometer. I tested it to 100 meters. I think the cons that are with this product is that because it does not run off a smartphone, it's no Wi-Fi, you have to be near the receiver to actually hear it being activated. So if you are down the road, for example, and you're not near this, you're not going to hear it. This needs to be in your vicinity for you to be alerted that there is movement where one of the sensors is going off. The other thing is battery life. Battery life concerns me a little bit. I would have loved the battery life to have lasted a lot longer. On the detector itself, as I mentioned before, you're going to get about 2.5 days with regular normal use. Upon the receiver, that's about 8 days of regular use, then you got to charge it. So it depends how you look at it. If you're after something that, you know, will last for ages, then you need to probably get something wired up in a bit more of a permanent style solution. This is more of a portable style mobile radar system. So yes, you do need to charge it every few days. So that's a consideration that you need to be aware of. So the price on this kit is currently at $299 up on Amazon. If you want to buy any more of these detectors, you can purchase up to 6 of these with this setup. These will cost you on Amazon through the LETWESAF company about $199. So if you're interested, check out the link in the description. All right, so what are my final thoughts about the LETWESAF radar system? I actually like it. I think it's a really, really good option for people who want a bit of, I would call it portable security. You can set this thing up anywhere. It's not complicated, very, very easy to use, and you don't need any subscription service. You don't have to drag any cables or wires anywhere. It's very easy to activate, turn on and off, and you can set up to 6 different detectors all around the place. And I love the fact that it can actually be activated when it's concealed, so it can actually send out radar waves through objects and up to 500 meters distance. That is pretty dang cool. I just wish the battery life was longer. So depending on how you're going to use this, you may need to have a power bank handy. If you use this for camping and you're out gone for a couple of days, well, you may need to get this charge up. Now, charging wise though, it charges up very, very quickly. So there's no issues with that, but you do have to charge it. So that's a consideration. Anyways, if you're interested in this, I'll leave a link in the description of this video. Check it out if you want, just down there below. As always, thank you for watching the video, and I'll catch you up on the next one.